Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's devotion for March 25th. It's titled, It's Time to Pray Again. The Bible reading is from Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 to 20. A final word. Be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on all of God's armor so that you will be able to stand firm against all strategies of the devil. For we are not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against mighty powers in this dark world, and against evil spirits in the heavenly places. Therefore, put on every piece of God's armor, so that you will be able to resist the enemy in the time of evil. Then after the battle, you will still be standing firm. Stand your ground, putting on the belt of truth and the body armor of God's righteousness. For shoes, put on the peace that comes from the good news so that you will be fully prepared. In addition to all of these, hold up the shield of faith to stop the fiery arrows of the devil. Put on salvation as your helmet and take the sword of the Spirit, which is the Word of God. Pray in the Spirit at all times and on every occasion. Stay alert and be persistent in your prayers for all believers everywhere. And pray for me too. Ask God to give me the right words so I can boldly explain God's mysterious plan that the good news is for Jews and Gentiles alike. I am in chains now, still preaching this message as God's ambassador. So pray that I will keep on speaking boldly for him as I should. I pulled into my driveway waving at my neighbor Miriam and her little girl Elizabeth. Over the years, Elizabeth had grown accustomed to our spontaneous chats, lasting longer than the promised few minutes and morphing into prayer meetings. She climbed the tree planted in the center of their front yard, dangled her legs over a branch, and busied herself while her mother and I spoke. After a while, Elizabeth hopped down from her roost and ran to where we stood. Grabbing our hands, she smiled and almost sang, "It's time to pray! Again!" Even at an early age, Elizabeth seemed to understand how important prayer was in our friendship. After encouraging believers to be strong in the Lord and his mighty power, the Apostle Paul offered special insight on the crucial role of continual prayer. He described the necessary armor God's people would need during their spiritual walk with the Lord, who provides protection, discernment, and confidence in his truth. However, the apostle emphasized this God-given strength. The apostle emphasized this God-given strength grew from deliberate immersion in the life-giving gift of prayer. That's better. God hears and cares about our concerns, whether they're spoken boldly, sobbed silently, or secured deep in a hurting heart. He's always ready to make us strong in his power, as he invites us to pray again and again and again. How can ongoing prayer change our perspective, relationships, and day-to-day living? What would it mean for you to consider your time in prayer to be as vital as breathing? Thank you for joining me for today's devotion, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.